Before names were written in ledgers and laws, there was light and blood. Anne was born not from sin, but from the mingling of heaven and earth. Her father carried the seed of light. Her mother, the blood of the stars. In her, a sacred spark lived, burning quietly through shame, rejection, and secrecy. Those who tried to name her or own her turned spirit into property, the living temple into theory. Yet even as they cast her out, she carried within her the river that endures. Every act of endurance, every tear, was another rung upon the ladder that leads from earth to sky. And though they sought to bury her, she rose within herself. Not the outcast, but the daughter of light returned.
My name is Anne. I remember the stories they told about my beginning, how I was born in silence to a native mother whose spirit now walks with the stars. Her tribe wrapped me in prayer blankets, the colors of earth, wind, and blood. They left me at the doorstep of my white father. His name was Mr. Charlie. He was a pale-faced man with land, money, and power, and a few slaves on his property. He spoke of my mama only when we were alone, but his wife and her children made sure I never forgot what I was. They told me I was a slave and my beloved mama was a savage. They told me to remember my place. As my skin turned golden in the sun, I saw the jealousy blooming behind their eyes. My hair fell in soft curls across my shoulders, and my father's attention made their whispers even louder. I was always following behind him, always crying after him, holding on when he tried to leave. His wife saw what she didn't want to know. She made him sell me. But Mr. Charlie said, "You are my daughter. I will come get you when the time is right." The law was on her side. The truth was scandalous. I had to go. Once I left, she divorced him. But the deal had already been made with her and the Hunn family. I was already in servitude in Kentucky. There, I became the property of Dr. Hunn, a man who made me a mother, before I ever knew what it meant to become one. I was 13 when I gave birth to Joseph. He was small, but his eyes held a light I had never seen before, a fighter's spirit. His life gave me hope. That day, I vowed to set all my children free. I was Master Hunn's property, so I did what I had to do to survive and to protect my boys, to keep us together. There were days I didn't know how I'd go on. I held on to one dream that my father would come as he promised. I did everything I was told. Obedience was survival. I never knew Dr. Hunn had signed an agreement with my father to keep me in servitude for 18 years, and he could never sell me or my children. As time passed, his demands grew heavier and violent if I refused his attention. Joseph, my brave little boy, would cause distractions to keep him away from me. At 5 years old, he already understood danger. By 16, I had 3 sons, Joseph, Edmund, and Henry. Dr. Hunn was a respected man in his community. People called him generous. They never saw the truth. He gave me better food, lighter work, and thought himself kind. But kindness cannot exist inside captivity. We were invisible, used, then forgotten. I endured the stench of him on my skin, the weight of his silence in my body. The threat of losing my boys kept me still. I prayed that God would hear me. The field women hated house slaves, especially me. But I was not special. I was surviving. They called me insane. Maybe they were right. You can only scream so long before the sound disappears. Then one day, I saw a familiar face in Dr. Hunn's study. Isaac. He was my cousin from Maryland, adopted into the Bennett family with his brother James. He had grown into a man and a medical student under Dr. Hunn. That night, he came to see me. We embraced, and I wept in his arms. He told me my father hadn't forgotten me, and an agreement had been made that my servitude would soon end. Isaac's presence brought comfort, and his deliberate visits kept Dr. Hunn away. Our bond deepened, and so did our love. When Isaac told me he was returning to Maryland, he also said he would enlist in the military. But I had news too. I was pregnant. He comforted me and told me not to worry. Act normal, he said. Be patient. I'll send your father to bring you home, and there I'll make you my wife. Hope came alive in me again. I knew I had to endure whatever time demanded. Then, one spring morning, a letter arrived for Dr. Hunn. Mr. Charles Bennett was coming. Suddenly, everything changed. New clothes, better food. A softer tone when my name was called, though they never used my real name. Dr. Hunn said I didn't have to leave. He said I could stay as a white servant. He didn't even know my name. Neither Anne nor Bennett. To him, I was Gal, a body on paper, but I was already preparing to go. My boys and I packed what little we had. We were leaving Kentucky behind. I was 22 with 3 little soldiers beside me and another child on the way. When the stagecoach crossed into Maryland, I felt the blood move through me again. I was home,